Hey guys, welcome to a brand new week and a brand new music lesson. I trust you're all doing really well. Okay, so in today's lesson, what we're actually going to be doing is we're going to be looking at how songs are written and produced. Okay, so when I say song is written, that is where we decide what chords we're going to use and perhaps what the melody of the song is going to be, and the lyrics. The lyrics are the words of the song. Okay, now in today's song, there are no words or no lyrics. It's called an instrumental song, meaning it's only instrument. And this song is a song that I wrote for my students, my guitar students, to help them learn a little bit more on the guitar and to challenge them a bit. Okay, so the other thing I also mentioned was producing. Now, what producing is let's say you have a band that go into studio to record a song. They'll sometimes hire somebody called a producer, and what the producer will do is he will give them another opinion, a second opinion, if you will, on the song that they're playing, and will say things like, maybe we should do 2 choruses instead of 1 in that section, or maybe we should add a violin in this section, or maybe a keyboard or a piano or something, or maybe we should take something away from this section. So a producer is somebody who knows how songs are written and has a lot of experience in recording and understanding what works in music. Because sometimes musicians or bands want to put things in a song that might not necessarily work or serve the song to make it the best that it can be. And so they hire a producer to help them get the song to be the absolute best that it can be. So we're going to be looking at both of those things, or a combination of songwriting and producing today. Now, what you guys see in front of you over here is a chart. Okay, so this is the chart that was written out for this particular song. And what you will notice, first of all, is we have a few sections of our song here. Okay, so songs are broken down into different sections. So we have a verse, a pre-chorus, a chorus, then another verse, pre-chorus, again, another chorus. Then we have something called a bridge. Ignore the strum there. That's just something I was telling my students to do. Okay, so those are the different sections of your song. And songs don't always follow this formula that I've written down here. Sometimes they do way different things, and it depends on the style of the song or the artist or the producer, perhaps, depending on what they're going for there. But my structure here is very easy because I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for my students to understand. All right, so that is something I actually just wanted to mention. Sometimes there's a purpose with a song. In this case, it's an educational purpose, but sometimes you'll have other songs that will have a very different structure because they have a different end goal, because they wanted to touch somebody emotionally, or they want to have a high energetic kind of song. So it all depends, and that's what's so awesome about this songwriting process, is it can change and it can vary so much, and it keeps things really interesting. Okay, so let's just quickly briefly talk about the sections. So a verse is generally something that you would find where this, like, let's say the songwriter's telling a story. This would be like where they're starting to tell the story, and then you have something called a pre-chorus over here. And this pre-chorus connects the verse to the chorus. All right, so it's almost like an introduction to the chorus. Pre, because it's before the chorus. All right, then the chorus is kind of your main section of your song. Whenever you sing a song out, chances are you're singing what was happening in the chorus. It's the main, most catchy part of the song. Okay, so it might be a vocal melody, or even maybe a guitar line or something like that. But if it stands out 10 to 1, it came from the chorus. All right, and so verses are generally a little softer, and then the chorus is nice and big to give you the song a little bit of a different feel or a different energy, because songs, what you want is for them to have highs and lows, ups and downs, loud and soft. Not always, depending on the style. Again, guys, it depends what the style of the song is. Sometimes you get some jazz music that's like full on all the time, or even metal music, A lot of this stuff is full ball all the time. Okay, but it all depends. In this song, I was going for a little more chilled on the verses and then a little bit more upbeat on the choruses, and you guys will hear that. All right, and then the last section we'll check out is the bridge. So a bridge is sometimes used to either lift the song even higher, or it'll bring the song way down, depending on how they want to use it. All right, so those are just the different sections of the song. And then what you guys will also notice is we have chords here: C, A minor, E minor, and G for the verse. Pre-chorus is C, E minor, A minor, G. Chorus, A minor, E minor, A minor, C, and then a C over B, and then an A minor at the end of the break there. Okay, so a lot of times what we'll do is in each section we might have different chords. Also, just to give the song a little bit of a different feeling and to add a bit of a flow to the song. This is also not always the case. I've heard many songs that only have 4 chords in them. And that's totally cool, nothing wrong with that. So what they do in that case is sometimes they'll just work on the volumes, or start adding instruments or taking instruments away so that the song doesn't sound the same the whole time. Okay, so that's just a quick brief introduction on the structures here. The other thing you guys will notice is these notes over here. So these are specifically only for rhythm. I've mentioned before, this is a staff, and generally you'll see the notes on different lines and in different spaces for melodies, but I've just simplified this because you'll never find a song that's only, this is a B note, by the way, that's only on B. So what we're doing here is we're playing the C chord with this rhythm. All right, so that's the idea behind it. We're only looking at the rhythm, not at the actual melody there. Okay, so let's jump into the song and give it a listen, and then we'll talk through what's happening there. Okay, sorry. I need to unsolo some of these things. Let's give that a go again. Okay, so what you guys will notice is immediately that what I've done here is I've actually labeled the different sections, just like it's written down on the page, the verse, pre-chorus, chorus. All right, so that it's just easier to navigate the song, but you can also hear the differences. So if you listen to the verse, for instance, it's a little bit more mellow. It's pretty chilled out. Once we get to the pre-chorus, the chorus, you can hear it's a lot more full on. The drums have changed. The guitar's a little bit more busy, and then if we look at our pre-chorus, the pre-chorus is building into the chorus. So you can hear it start to build, and then eventually we're into the chorus. Alright, and that's typically how we use pre-choruses and verses and things, just to add a bit of dynamics in there. Okay, now as far as the writing process with this song, I started writing it on guitar because that's my main instrument. But if you're a piano player, or maybe you play saxophone or anything like that, you might start writing a melody or something like that with your main instrument. All right, so in this case, we started on guitar. So the song started off like this. Just one guitar, playing different rhythms and so on. I'll go to the pre-chorus quickly. Chorus. Alright, so it just started off like that. Okay, now what I sometimes also do is I'll play along to drums. That helps me a lot. Because it helps me to figure out different rhythms and so forth. So I've soloed, these are all of these sections here that you see are the drums all together. Okay, so if we listen to the verse, that's the sound of the verse. Then we go pre-chorus, the drums will change a little. So it's building, and then we go into our chorus. And there's the full groove. Okay, now let's put this alongside my guitar. Okay, so the drums are going to be alongside our guitar here. And let's have a listen. So that's in our verse, pre-chorus. You'll hear the build again. So you can hear the guitar is building a little here. We're playing a bit more. And then we get into our chorus. Alright. And literally I'll write a whole song just doing that. I'll add different drum sections in. So you'll hear in the bridge, let's say for instance here. So it's a lot more chilled out with the bridge. And then it will eventually build into something a little more as well. So I'll literally do this. I'll sit with my guitar, I'll write the song out, and then I'll put some drums to it so that I can add some rhythm. And then the next section that sometimes we can add is the bass guitar, just to help the song sound a little bit more full. And then we start adding other instruments and different guitar sections in. So if we add the bass in now, I'll take it from the verse again. Oh, let me just mention, guys, if you can't hear the bass here, you might need to use headphones. Bass doesn't really come through cell phone speakers very well, or iPads and things like that. So pop in some headphones and you'll be able to hear the bass way better. So that's our verse in our pre-chorus. And there it starts to sound like a song already, just with those three instruments over there. Alright, so way more full. Okay, and that just helps me, if I can hear a nice foundation like that, it helps me to know what I need to add with the other instruments, because what you'll notice is we have a few other guitars over here, and we'll go through all of these as well, and we'll talk about that. This over here, this track 7, I should actually label this, is actually a keyboard that's adding some things in there. Alright, so that's it for today. This is going to be part 1 of the lesson. This was the basics, the foundation of writing a song. Okay, and I just want to mention something. This is my process. It might be different for other people, so it's not always the same. And also, depending on the style, again, guys, these things change. So we actually might do another 1 or 2 songs in different styles, maybe songs that have a vocal in, and have a look at how those songs are written and how they added things in there. So this is just a very basic version of that. But I hope you guys enjoyed it and that you guys have a lovely week further. Cheers.